Yes. Unbelievable. Okay. Now I think I got it. Hello, everybody. It's Matt from RollCaribbeanBlog.com. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. Happy Monday, everybody. Sorry for being a couple minutes late here. Everything decided to not work at the last minute, but we're here. We're back from Royal Caribbean's Alert of the Seas. Had a great time on board Alert. I'm here to answer your Royal Caribbean cruise questions. So we're going to answer as many questions as we possibly can here on this broadcast. Starting with the most important question: how many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Tip your countdown in chat. Let's count down together. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you all here. Again, as I mentioned, I just got off Alert of the Seas. I got to tell you, is it possible to get off a cruise ship, go home, and it not be like this drain of a day? I've been cruising for however many years I've been cruising, taking almost 100 cruises, and no matter what, every time the day you get off that ship, it's like someone punched you in the stomach, you lost your wallet, and there's nothing to eat, and you're starving the entire day. It's crazy. We had some super chats before the broadcast began. Thank you so much for amazing generosity, even before things began. Dancing Spider-Man, thank you for the super chat. If I'm going on a cruise with my wife and our kid, we'll have our table to ourselves in the main dining room, right? Not necessarily. If you're doing my time dining, you can request that. If you're doing traditional dining, like you have early or late seating, that's a request you can make. So talk to the main dining room host on embarkation day to get that set up. Dancing Spider-Man again with the second super chat. Thank you. Is the third Icon class ship going to be bigger and different than Star and Icon? We don't know. I don't think it'll be any bigger. Royal Caribbean has said, Dancing Spider-Man, that the Icon class will not continuously get bigger and bigger and bigger like the Oasis class did. But we have no details about Icon 3. So it's like you're about a year and a half too early to be asking that question because honestly, nobody knows. I wish I could give you a better answer than that. Mark Wilson, thank you for the super chat. Why are cruises not offered on Navigator until April? That's because they have not. Mark, thank you for the super chat. Royal Caribbean has not put out the new deployments. They come out this week. So obviously today, probably Wednesday or Thursday, Mark. I will post about it at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. But that's essentially why. Now, if you're talking about April this year, that's because Navigator of the Seas is going for refurbishment. And so she's going over to Asia to get some work done. In the meantime, there's no replacement ship. So that is why. Nicole Lombardi, thank you for the super chat. 34 days till Mariner, and I heard the ship is full. Yeah, and you know what, Nicole? That's pretty common. In fact, it is uncommon for it not to be full. All Royal Caribbean cruise ships sail pretty much at 100% capacity, if not more. So if you hear someone say, "Oh, guys, the ship is full," yeah, that's like saying it's hot in the desert. That is what is supposed to happen, actually, believe it or not. So that's not a bad thing either. Michelle Taylor, thank you for the super chat. Also going on Mariner of the Seas. I have to use a wheelchair due to a fall and bad knees. Will still have a great time. Absolutely. I don't know if sure it's a question or a statement, but if it's a statement, absolutely. And you will. I mean, I tell people this all the time. A cruise is what you make of it. And I think that's really important to understand that, you can have a great time, wheelchair or not. Just, take things at your own pace and go from there. Jonathan Pace, thank you for the super chat. Happy Monday. Thank you, Jonathan. Lauren the Legend Lisco. Lauren, thank you for the super chat. Been looking at Alaska cruise on Quantum, and those itineraries are very similar, with just 1 to 2 stops different. Is there a best itinerary? You are not missing much. And by the way, Lauren also 26 days till Odyssey, and time is crawling. When it comes to the Alaska itineraries, you are not wrong. In a lot of cases, there is not a lot of variety. So it's really a matter of 1 or 2 ports. That's it. So don't overthink it, Lauren. You're pretty much good there. Betsy Clemens, thank you for the super chat. Betsy wrote, 13 days to my very first cruise ever, going on a Wonder of the Seas with my quilting group. I've been binge watching your videos and feel so prepared now. I love that. That is awesome. Betsy, thank you for the super chat. Shane, thank you for the super chat. Chef's Table starts at 6:30 for my wife and I. Adventure Ocean opens at 7. Any recommendations for kids in that half hour? No, I'm not sure how old your kids are. One option is you leave them in the cabin. For that half hour, you then excuse yourself from dinner, go up and grab them, bring them to Adventure Ocean, and return. That's one option. The other thing you could ask is at Adventure Ocean if they can take them early. Maybe, maybe not, but it's worth at least asking about it. But otherwise, again, if they're very young, then that's a problem because obviously you can't leave them in the cabin. But if they're like, 10 years old, they can stay in their room by themselves for half an hour. They're probably not going to, do anything horrific in that short amount of time. Otherwise, maybe bring a friend on board and have them help you out. Otherwise, it's a tough situation. Same thing happened with Empire Supper Club. I don't have a really good idea other than excusing yourself in the middle of the meal to go bring them up there. Trevor, thank you for the super chat. We're in St. Thomas from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Do we have enough time to go to St. John? Yes. I just did this exact thing, Trevor. I booked it through Royal Caribbean, and I would recommend you book yours through Royal Caribbean as well, number one. Number two, you'll have, if you do the Royal Caribbean tour, you will have about 90 minutes or so actual time in St. John to swim or do whatever, give or take. It's not a lot of time. I do think it's worth it. I just went to I've done this exact scenario, and I think 90 minutes in St. John is better than not going to St. John, quite frankly. I think there's a lot of transport time in between, but my goodness, it's absolutely beautiful. Betsy says, for foodies going on Wonder, I booked Chef Sable and Giovanni's. Is it worth it? Also book 150. 150 is always worthwhile. The food is one of my favorite restaurants on board any Royal Caribbean cruise ship by far. Let's see here. I think we missed oh no, I'm catching up here. I'm catching up. We're slowly getting there, guys. Carrie B, post cruise blues is a real thing. It's not even I can deal with the fact that I'm not going on a cruise for another 4 weeks, which seems like an eon for me. But it's just all the morning your cruise ends is just like, oy vey. Let's see here. Moritz, is there any update on Royal Caribbean allowing guests to book reservations for unlimited dining package pre-purchase cruise? Not yet. From what I asked about this again when I was on Icon of the Seas, and Royal Caribbean said they're still working on it. It's still the plan, just not available yet. So when we have an update on that, we will share it for sure, guys. I'll make a big deal about that because that is a big deal once that does obviously go through. Mark Wilson, Mark, thank you for the super chat again, and Mark, I apologize. I got your question, but I don't know why I'm apologizing. Mark, yeah, essentially, if you're looking for April of this year, she's in refurbishment. That's why she's missing, but she'll be back. So that's why you're not seeing her currently, because she's going to get her refurb. Every 5 years, cruise ships go out to get dry dock work done, and that's essentially why. Now, unlike Florida, where there's a bunch of ships that can step in and take that place, not so much on the West Coast. So you just got a bit of a pause over there. Where are the Royal Caribbean cruises in Japan? Right now, essentially, Royal Caribbean is waiting for cruises from China to restart. Traditionally, Royal Caribbean cruises to Japan have always sailed from China. So as the Chinese cruises begin to sail again, so will the visits to Japan. PLR, have you ever tried the escape room? Is it worth it? Yes, I've done it on many ships. It's a lot of fun. Something different to do. I think it is worth the money. Pink Twines, has Utopia released reservations for the new railroad restaurant? No, not yet. Nadine and Jason Lambert, thank you for the super chat. 33 and 111 days. So you got Icon Wonder coming up. Nice. Which ship has the best dining? It's a really subjective question. I know you're asking it it seems like a very straightforward question, but it's actually a very subjective question because depending on your preferences, that can vastly differ. To me, when I get a question like this, usually I think you're talking about variety. Replace the word best with what ship has the best, or rather add a word there, which ship has the best variety of dining. And in that case, you're probably looking at an Icon or an Oasis class ship. There's just the most choices that are out there. But truly, Nadine and Jason, when you talk about the best, it's a very subjective question because some people might say, let's use 150 Central Park as a great example. There are probably some people who don't like that restaurant. I love it. But it depends on which restaurants really appeal to you. And you can find some great restaurants on Mariner of the Seas or Brilliance of the Seas. I mean, Brilliance is not a big ship, not a new ship. Brilliance has, let's see here, Chops, Izumi, and Giovanni's, and Chef's Table. That's really not bad in the grand scheme of things. What was the best thing I did on Icon of the Seas? My goodness. I mean, The Wizard of Oz was fantastic. I mean, the shows in general. I love the entertainment. I'm going to give you the shows, but I mean, to nail it down to one thing is tough. Jennifer Fuchs. Jennifer, thank you for the super chat. 48 days till Oasis, 228 till Celebrity Beyond. Taking my brother on Oasis, who is definitely not tech savvy. Will I be able to check in for him, or does he have to have the app? No, you can definitely check in for him. If you're in the same cabin, then you can definitely do that. If he has his own reservation, Jennifer, simply link your reservations together. When you go to the Royal Caribbean app, and you go and you're going to your and you're finding all your sailings, there's an option at the bottom that says missing reservations, something like that. Put his information in there, and it'll appear in your app, and you can switch between the two reservations to be able to check him out and do everything for him. Palm Coast is still no wonder for late 2025. What's up? Can't believe they haven't announced schedule beyond April. Well, don't forget, we have West Coast cruises coming out this week, and we have short cruises coming out next week. So somewhere in there is probably where Wonder is hiding, Palm Coast. That's essentially what you're missing out on there. And of course, we'll post about it once that happens. Lots of super chats, guys. I had to catch up. You guys are amazing. Holy moly. Jason Goolsby, thank you for the super chat. 31 Days to Liberty. Just wondering if Red Bull is included with the deluxe drink package. It is indeed. Yes, absolutely. William Mom, always a pleasure here, sir. Thank you for this generosity. 215 Days till Harmony. The wait starts again. As somebody who just got off a cruise ship today, I will tell you the wait starts again. No matter if it's 3 days or it's 30 days or 300 days, seems to take forever. Anyway, William, you have my sympathy, my friend. Can you please explain how My Time Dining gratuity works in 2024? It's prepaid. When you choose My Time Dining, you'll notice that your gratuities are automatically prepaid, and that's it. If you'd like to, obviously, if you have a great travel agent, hopefully you have a good travel agent. If you have a great waiter in the dining room, you can slip them some money afterwards, but that essentially covers it. Jen Green from MEI Travel is here. Hello, Jen. It is good to see you here. Yvonne from MEI Travel is here as well. Zachary. Zach, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Appreciate you. I don't see a message from you. Oh, I found it. I just had to scroll down a little bit. 89 days till my first ever cruise on Mariner for my honeymoon. Bought the deluxe drink package for my soon-to-be wife and I. Will I be able to take both our sea passes and get 2 drinks? Absolutely, yes. You don't need to produce the body. As long as you got 2 passes, you get 2 drinks at a time. No problem. Joy Prowl is here. Hello, Joy. It is good to see you as well. Mike Pastori in the chat. Ron F. Ron, thank you for the super chat. Unlimited dining just opened for purchase Utopia. There you go. So let me say something. When it comes to anything to pre-purchase, you can always buy it today, lock in the price. If there's a better, you can always change your mind later on. If you decide a week or a month later, you know what, maybe I don't want that. You can always cancel it. But yeah, not a bad idea to lock that in early. Patty Fry, thank you for the super chat. 61 days till Icon I just returned a week ago from Oasis. Then Patty, the post-cruise blues are real and they stink. And but we're here as your friends, Patty, to help pass the time. So, but you have 61 days till Icon. I mean, my goodness, you're in for such a great, great cruise. Steve, will the Allure amplification be more like Utopia ideas or his original plan? No one knows yet. Royal Caribbean hasn't announced it yet. So it's, honestly, Steve, it's anyone's guess. Scooby Moto, thank you for the super chat. Does Izumi, Chops, and Hooked serve the same options for lunch as they do dinner? Chops, no. Izumi, yes. And I think Hooked might be yes. I'm not sure about Hooked. But Chops definitely has a different lunch menu. Izumi does not. Ron Ladowski. Matt's biggest problem with YouTube is only one of him and too many of us asking questions. I love it. I mean, listen, end of the day, we're here to answer as many as we possibly can, Ron. So glad to have you guys here. Nathan, was there always an option for Oasis 7? As far as I know, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't aware of it. We all kind of thought Utopia might be it, but they placed a new order in there. So do you think this will wrap up the Oasis and Quantum class? And again, the answer to your question is no one really knows, because probably like a week ago, he would have said, no, there's no plans to. And that's essentially the answer. There are no plans to beyond that. Do I think they could place new orders? Yeah. I think that being said, I think the Quantum class is done. I think they've I think that boat has sailed. See what I did there? Um, but I think the quantum class, it served its purpose, but I think Royal sees more growth opportunities, in my opinion, with the Oasis and the Icon class, and maybe even the new Discovery class. That they don't need. There's not really a need market wise to build a new quantum class. But Nathan, if we've learned anything from this past week, it's that orders can be placed at any given time. So yeah. Let's see here. I'm gonna drink of water, catch up with our chat. Does Icon have laser tag? Yes. Ice skating. Well, there's an ice skating show. I assume there's open skate and an escape room. The escape room is physically there, like there's a room, but it was not ready at all when I was on board. So I think it's more of a coming soon kind of thing. Brad Lever coming in with an epic super chat. Woo! Thank you, Brad. We'll be at Hideaway Beach next Tuesday. What did you think about it? Brother, I loved it. If you haven't checked it out yet, we posted a full video tour of Hideaway Beach here on our channel. But I will say this. The fact it is an adults-only beach is a detail. Hideaway Beach is it's a railroad took all the best features of Coco Key, put them into one place. I was blown away by it. I was never somebody who was like, hey guys, we really need an adults only area. I'm not part of that camp. Sorry. I will say though, having gone to Hideaway Beach, I'm hooked. The fact it's adults only is secondary. I really think they did an amazing job with it. Just really, really fantastic. Q Creations, enjoyed your conversation on Tony's podcast. Great content. Thank you. I had a great time talking with Tony. I was actually I was actually sick as a dog when I did that one. I thought I sounded terrible, like vocally. But I did that podcast. I was like, when I hit end, I was like, oh my God, I'm fall asleep. I lay down, took an epic nap, and I felt much better. But that was a fever dream discussion, and it all came out quite well. Jessica Devoto, thank you for the super chat. What are the must-do ports in Alaska? All of them? I mean, literally every single one brings something else to the table, Jessica. It's not like the Caribbean where, you've been to one Caribbean beach, you've been to them all. I think every single port has a little something different. So I would say literally all of them are the must-dos. Now, if you only had, like, Matt, I'm going one time to Alaska and that's it. I mean, Skagway, Juneau, Ketchikan are three that jump off the top of my head. Ed Vira, thank you for the super chat. We'll be taking Panama Canal in February 26th in Miami and renting the house in Davenport for 9 days afterwards. Should rent the car in Miami or try the Brightline? I would definitely do the Brightline. The only reason to rent a car, though, is you're renting a house. Like, if you're renting a house, dude, oh, I see what you're saying, though. I would still take the train. Driving, let me tell you something, Ed. Driving between Orlando and Miami is vastly overrated. It's boring. It's tedious. There can be a lot of traffic. The train is the way to go. If it were me, I would definitely take the train and pick up your rental car on either end, or take the Uber over, and then once you get to your rental house, pick up a rental car over there. It'll be pretty easy for you because you'll be right at the airport at Orlando, and you can pick it up right there. Let's see here. Jamie, when you reserve a suite, specialty dining is included only if you do Star Class, Jamie. So if you do a Grand Suite Sky Class, no. And if you're on a non-Oasis or Icon or Quantum Class ship, then none of it's included. It's only included with Star Class cabins, rather. I see Warren C in the chat. Hello, Warren. It's good to see you, buddy. Your fan club was well represented on board the Allure of the Seas this past weekend. Jamie Zippelman. Jamie, thank you for the super chat. Booked for Wonder in May, and it already looks like most especially dining times are sold out. Even confirmed this by calling Royal Caribbean. Is this common, or is it possible they've not opened everything up yet? In my experience, it's both common, and there will still be times once you get on board the ship, Jamie. As somebody who books the ultimate dining package like every single time, I have rarely ever had a problem where I get on board the ship and nothing's available. The exception of this was like an inaugural sailing where it can be very tight with reservations, but you're going on Wonder in May. It's not like you're going on the first sailing of Utopia. I think in that situation, Jamie, my expectation, not that I can promise you anything, but if it were me and I were doing that exact scenario, I wouldn't think twice about it. I'd have my dining package. You get on board the ship, go immediately when you get on board the ship to make dining reservations. And I'm willing to likely expect that you're going to have no problems getting times. May not be like Jamie, be realistic also. It might not be exactly the day and time you want. Maybe it's, day 2, but instead of being, 6, maybe you got to eat at 5 or 7:30, something like that, right? A little flexibility, but I really don't think you'll have too much of a problem there. Let's see here. I also want to mention, I think I missed it earlier. Holy moly, you guys are like breaking you should see my chat right now. It's like going former genius. That's what it was. Former genius, thank you for becoming a member of the club, the Royal Caribbean Blog Club here on YouTube. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Maria, I've never heard anything about Luna's. I'm sorry that Jamie's is filled up, but I don't know. I don't have anything other. It's in Costa Maya, Maria. It's either Jamie's Blue Reef or it's Maya Chan. Lauren, is there a diamond discount or deal on individual restaurants to purchase on board? No. The only difference if you have Diamond Plus is you get a BOGO deal. But other than that, not really. David P., thank you for the super chat. Icon in 5 days, first trip is Diamond Plus. Do you think they will allow BOGO specialty to be booked for day 7, but I will pay reserve day 1? It's worth asking. Have I seen this occur or be allowed? Yes. Is it written down as the rules? No. But it would be worth asking, David. So I would definitely at least ask for it. And like I said, I've heard of this happening more often than not, but don't expect it to be the case. That's all. I'm trying to temper expectations there. Renee, thank you for the super chat. 63 Days Celebrity. Weird question. Have you spotted the Royal Berry Blast at the freestyle machines? Yes. It's been there for well over a year now. But I've definitely seen it like on Icon. I saw it again because I was like, oh, it's still there. I remember noticing it. So yes. Andrew, do you know anything about the new Oasis class ship they just ordered? Nope, we know nothing. It got ordered. That's it. We don't know the name, where it's sailing from, what's going to be on board. It's all a guess at this point. Next question. Do they have the pesky parrot? No, the pesky parrot will be coming to Utopia of the Seas, not Icon. And if so, is it similar to the Bamboo Room in the sense that it's kind of a Polynesian style bar? Yeah, but that's about that's where the similarities end essentially. We don't know all the details yet, but essentially that's what we do know. Utopia. Frickin' frack, Kim and Jeff, thank you for the super chat. Fresh from Navigator, back on her in December. Navigator is a vastly underrated ship in the fleet. So glad you had a great time on there. Let's see here. Next question. Do I think Icon is too large for Bayonne? People said the same thing about the Oasis class. And then Warren C. was like, listen, guys, I'm going to my party in my suite. I'll see you guys next week. Anything's possible. They did retract Icon's funnels when she was leaving the shipyard. So I think I don't know. I'm not a maritime expert in that regard. But I have, if I've learned one thing so far, it's that honestly, it's like expect the unexpected when it comes to these kinds of what is possible or not. It seems like every time we think we know what's possible, bam, there's something else there. Guys, there's so many questions here. I'm trying to get to as many as I can. Skyfrog, is the refreshment package worth the cost? If you can drink about 5 or 6 drinks a day that are included in your drink package, absolutely. Dolores Griffin, thank you for the super chat. Great to see you in person on Allure last evening in the casino. Likewise, it was great seeing everybody on board. And Dolores, pleasure. I'm glad you said hello on board. It was all too quick, but yeah. Since you have a YouTube channel based on Royal Caribbean, does the company give you special discounts on your cruises? No. I do get occasionally a free cruise for like a media event, like for Icon. There was the 3-night preview cruise that I got. But like, I just went on Allure of the Seas. I paid full price like anybody else. I've got Wonder coming up next in March, and I paid full price for that one. So no, I don't get any discounts. Other than the rare media sailing. Nope. Best excursion to do in Cozumel, Julie says. Well, there's many. I'm a little bit biased. We do have our friends over at Paradise Beach. You get 10% off by using the code RCBlog. I do like them quite a bit. John DiMuccio. John, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. We're finally back cruising. First time on Odyssey. Falmouth is a stop. What should we do there? Brother, I have yet to find anything I absolutely love. I need to go back to Falmouth because I've not been there in a long time. I need to do some research in finding something there. But I don't have a go-to excursion. If I were to go back though, two things jump out at me, John. One would be Blue Hole, which is an excursion you book through Royal Caribbean. The other is a resort pass to Hilton Rose Hall. I went to the Hilton Rose Hall like 10 years ago. I don't know if it's still any good, but those are the two things I would look at going forward. Matt, I just want to tell you you're an awesome narrator. Thank you, Mira. Thank you. Appreciate that. Very kind of you. Big guy. Thank you for the super chat, big guy. I don't see a message from you, but appreciate that. Is the Washi Washi singing taco guy unique to Icon, or was it started prior? I've only been on the Icon. Washi Washi is not new. The guy dressed up like a taco. That was the first time I saw it too. Maybe he was hiding on some other ship that I wasn't aware of, but it was new to me. Alex, thank you for the super chat. My wife and I are trying to get the drink package to our son that won't even be 2 years old, and you have to get the lower drink package too. No, that rule is only for the adults, Alex. So your 2-year-old does not need a drink package. Tracy, if you're in your cabin by yourself, do you get double points? Yes. And if you're in a suite by yourself, you get 3 points per night, believe it or not. Are WoW bands available on Icon? When I was on there, the answer is yes, you can bring your own and they'll reprogram them. When I was on there on the inaugural, they didn't have a new supply to sell yet. But yes, they do work on board Icon of the Seas. Lucy of the Seas, thank you for the super chat. Why are there no Alaska cruises in April of 25? None released yet, or are there none available during that time? None available at that time. It's too early in the season, Lucy. Royal Caribbean's Alaska season begins in either late May or early June. So that's why you're not seeing any. It's not you, it's them. Barbara Hawkins, thank you for the super chat. I was blown away by the adult hideaway. Also, the best. Dude, the Hideaway Beach area was just, I don't know if you're talking about Hideaway Beach or the Hideaway, like the neighborhood on Icon, but either way, I am not surprised to hear you say that at all. Traveling Foodie, tell us more about Utopia. It's going to sail in July. There's a couple of new features coming to Utopia of the Seas. The Pesky Parrot is a bamboo room. There's going to be a new pool deck bar on board. The train restaurant's probably the most interesting and different thing on board the ship. There's going to be an immersive dining experience to make you feel like you're on an old-timey train. I am very excited for this option, quite frankly. But we'll have more details as we get closer to the sailing, because some details, like entertainment, we don't know yet about what's going to be on board. Jake D, thank you for the super chat. Going on a cruise out of Port Canaveral in May, is it hard to stay near Orlando and grab an Uber in the morning? Absolutely not. It's very easy. I don't think I'll have any problems at all. Next question. Going on Wonder in June. What's the number one thing I should do on her? See all the shows. I mean, in the Royal Theater, Aqua Theater, Studio B, absolutely fantastic. Hey, Slew Dog, do all ships have a suite lounge? Yes. Sometimes they're called the concierge lounge, depending on the ship, but yes, they do. Also, which class ships have coastal kitchen restaurant? Quantum, Oasis, and Icon class ships. Tony, it's a great name, actually. Heart of the Seas. I like that name quite a bit. Susan Westfall. It's good to see you here, Susan. Thank you for the super chat. So good to see you. Please say hello to your sister for me. Glad to have you back here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm flying in the same day as my cruise. Is that bad? That's actually one of the worst things you can do. It is actually one of the biggest. You're just playing with fire. You got a delay or cancellation, you're going to miss out on your entire cruise, and there are no refunds for a travel delay, unless you have travel insurance, of course, but you actually don't get a refund, you get reimbursed. So technically my statement is correct. Scooby Moto, so book at least, fly in at least a day ahead of time. Scooby Moto, thank you for the super chat. Are the casinos on the ship worth it for a sea day? I mean, this is a very subjective question. Some people will swear by them. My problem with the casitas is, number one, they're almost always on the higher pool deck. Like usually there's 2 pool decks, right? The lower pool deck, which actually has the pool, and the upper pool deck, which you need to then go downstairs to use the pool. It's not the end of the world, but it's nice having a reserved spot with shade, drink service. But I think it really behooves you to be the kind of person, Scubamoto, that likes to spend all day at the pool. If that's the case, there you go. One other issue with the casitas, and you won't know this ahead of time, is what happens if it rains that day or it's not great weather. Then there's no refunds for that. So a bit of a risk in that regard. A small one, but a risk nonetheless. Chris, thank you for the super chat. No question, just thank you. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, Chris. Always a pleasure to have you in here. Thank you for your generosity, my friend. Let's see here. When will they have low deposit deals? Zebo, we have not seen low deposit deals for years. So, other than booking a cruise on board a ship, I wouldn't expect one. Selena, thank you for the super chat. Will Royal Caribbean work with us if Serenade World Group Cruise changes the Africa only option? The Serenade and change it doesn't work for my family. I believe so. I'm not on board the ship, obviously. But I thought, I could be wrong on this, Selena. I thought if you're booked on that sailing that's affected, there was an email sent out with refund options. Basically, Selena, talk to your travel agent. I would talk to your travel agent and obviously reach out to them immediately about that. Russell, how do you afford to go on so many cruises? There's a couple of reasons. Number one, I live in Florida. Like the number one thing, guys, unless your name is Warren C., live in Florida is the number one way to go on more cruises more often because there's so many cruises here. That means you're not paying money for or as much money for airfare and things like that. Number two, let's be perfectly clear on this. Going on cruises is my job. So I'm not quite normal in that regard. But you know what's funny, Russell, is while I'm not normal, there are way more people who basically live on a cruise ship, a cruise like every week. And those people generally being retired, that's like a number one thing. Number two, booking early, taking advantage of prices early on. Ronnie Bickers Jr., thank you for the super chat. 68 days till Mariner. When Royal Caribbean finally decides to make smaller ships, what size do you think they're going to go for? Honestly, like 4,000 passengers. I really think it's going to be right around like bigger than Freedom class, smaller than Quantum class kind of thing. I don't think you're getting like a Vision of the Seas Part 2. I could be wrong on that. What class do you think has a sweet spot for size and port variety? Well, your question, the answer is Voyager class or Radiance class. For port variety, it's definitely Radiance class. But also profitability is the other factor you're not considering. So it is a company after all. It's a business. Hi, Tia. Is it better to reserve transfers from the airport to the port with Royal Caribbean or Uber? I do it via Uber. I never have a problem, Tia. I've taken many, many cruises. I've taken many, many Lyft rides. I've never had a problem with that. The nice thing about the transfers is it's simple. There's no thought required. Like I did transfers when I was in Southampton and I need to get to London. And originally I was going to take the train. I was like, you know what? I want the easy button. And you know what? It was easy. But Lyft and Uber are not difficult as well. The reason why I like Lyft and Uber is because when you're ready to go, Tia, when you walk off that ship, your ride is going to be there within a minute or two, right? It depends on how people are cruising with you. There isn't a right or wrong answer, but I prefer Lyft or Uber, but there's nothing wrong with doing a transfer if that seems simpler to you. Niche, anywhere to relax on Icon quiet area besides this suite only area? Oh yeah. Actually, number one would be the Overlook, which is the Aquadome. That is a great spot for that. Number two would be Pearl Cafe. Once you get past the morning coffee rush, it's pretty quiet in there. I think it's a nice spot, but the Overlook and the Aquadome is definitely the place to go right there. You'll have a great time on board. Next question, Patty Fry. Patty, thank you for the super chat. Can I be seated with other people in the main dining room? Yes, absolutely. Just definitely speak to the head waiter on embarkation day. By default, there's a very good chance you will be. We have early dinner, only two of us that might be tired of each other. Nice. Yeah, just almost by default, you have a better chance of that happening than not. But speak to the head waiter once you get on board the ship on embarkation day. Ainsley, thank you for the super chat. Oh, just over 30 days till my 8 days on Symphony out of Port Everglades. I'm 20 minutes from in the port. I prefer Miami. Which do you think is better? Getting in and out of Port Everglades is way easier. Sail away is better in Miami. But at the end of the day, convenience rules the world for me. So I like the convenience of Port Everglades, but I do love the sail away out of Miami. Let's see here. Jose, thank you for the super chat. Oh, by the way, before we get to Jose, 1 second. Warren C corrected me here. Icon Inaugural had a kiosk selling WoW bands. There you go. It's funny, Warren. I asked at guest services. That's what they told me earlier. But listen, if anybody knows anything, it's Warren C for sure. Jose, thank you for the super chat. 95 days till adventure of the seas. Will Roller Green ever add Nachi to its itinerary? I doubt it. I think the reason being, Jose, Nachi doesn't really want to. If a company like Nachi partners with the cruise line, number one, the cruise lines take a cut out of it. They take a fee. And number two, their business is doing so well, I don't think they need that kind of push from the cruise line. So I doubt it. Let's see here. Next question. Why is Icon so expensive? Because it's new and fancy. It's the newest ship in the fleet. New ships always have premium pricing. It's the new hotness. That's why. That level of being brand new and in demand commands a higher price. And honestly, Heather, people are paying it. At the end of the day, the prices may be high, but someone's paying it. Not the answer you want to hear, obviously, but I got to be real with you. Next question. Do Apple AirTags work on a cruise? They do. In the sense that you can tell if it's on board the ship or back on land, but they don't work, Valeria, in the sense that you can't be like, oh, my luggage is on deck 7. Like, it doesn't work like that. All you see is a bubble that it's somewhere on board the ship. But yeah, it does work. I've used them before. RFA 727, thank you for the super chat. Greetings from Harmony of the Seas. Do dining packages include tips? They're supposed to. When you buy one, you pay a service fee, and that's supposed to be. Let me put it this way, RFA. Yes, I still tip on top of it. That's just me. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't do that. I still give them like an extra like $10 or $20 a meal, just to probably deserve it. Number one, number two, just to cover like I'm not sure, but that seems like a good starting point right there. Tia, do you think the crew members would appreciate $2 bills for tips? I have a couple of friends who use $2 tips all the time. They certainly don't mind it at all. At the end of the day, they love cash. So not a problem at all. Cruiser Pam, thank you for the super chat. Love your info. Thank you. Watching from Cafe Promenade right now. Shout out to Brandy from MEI Travel for getting me a great deal on the ship last minute. Number one, we love Brandy. Number two, Brandy, how can you let me know about a last minute deal? Awesome. Pam, thank you for supporting our friends at MEI Travel. So glad to hear that they got you a great deal on that. Enjoy your cruise. That's awesome. Blaine, thank you for the super chat. I am 19. I'm going on Icon March 9th. Can you tell me what are certain things I need to know? Oh, actually, I mean, there's a lot of things, but you're 19 years old. Dude, in the app and the cruise planner, in the Royal Caribbean app and the Cruise Compass, look for events as like Hyperlink. Hyperlink events are designed for guests between the ages of 18 and 23 because you're basically all, you're too old for the teen club, but you're not old enough to either drink, in your case, or old enough that you'd want to hang out with people as old as Tony Diaz. So Blaine, there usually is one or two events every day. It's Hyperlink and then whatever it is. Definitely check those out. They'll be right up your alley you'll get to meet other people your age. Let's see here. Sam, will Icon still be at 80% capacity in April? Probably not. It's going to be, I think by spring break, they're expecting to be right at 100 already. So I don't believe that'll be the case at all. Next question. Scooby Moto. Scooby, thank you for the super chat. At $30 a day to park at Jersey's Port, is it still worth parking there instead of a hotel? I still think so. Dude, listen, it ain't cheap. Number one. Number two, parking off-site is not like $5 a day. You'll save a little bit of money. Not a lot, but a little bit of money. Number three, most importantly, convenience is worth it. At the end, when it's as somebody who just got off a cruise ship today, when you walk off that ship and you're depressed, tired, hungry, you're good. You just want to get home. You don't want to deal with a shuttle and this. You just want to go right in your car, not talk to anybody, just make get in the car and just start driving and get home as fast as you can, take a nap. I think it's worth it. I really do. Doug says, Matt, would like to see you do Royal Green Blog on Monday, Celebrity on Wednesday. What do you think? Woo, that's an interesting idea. Although I do like having my Wednesdays off. But I don't know. You guys want to see a Wednesday celebrity chat? It would just be celebrity. So Tony, you got to ask me only about celebrity. I don't know. That's it. We tried, actually, Doug, we tried doing every Friday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, a live on cruise.blog for our other YouTube channel. We have another site, cruise.blog, covers the rest of the industry. And we started doing that right around December, and then the holidays, and then Icon happened, and it has not happened since then. But I would, I think how about we combine the two? And this Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time on Cruise Blog, we'll be live over there. Why does Royal Caribbean not renovate Voyager Freedom Class cabin, something like Celebrity did? They just don't. I don't know. That's a great question. It's not been part of their DNA, or they just don't see a need for it, quite frankly. A business need. How does Royal Caribbean find out that you're more than 23 weeks pregnant? They don't. It's all in the honor system. But Casey, the issue is that if you're trying to think, well, I'm more than 23 weeks, how will they know? The problem is, you got to remember, if you were to go into premature labor, there are no facilities on board to support that. They don't have the staff or the facilities for it. That can put you and or your child in great danger. You don't want to play games with that. I understand you booked your cruise. I understand you have plans. Trust when I tell you, that is not a gamble you want to take. It's for your benefit, not Royal Caribbean trying to be, weird about it. Honestly, that's essentially the reason for it. But it is on the honor system. But trust me, this is more than just like, hey, this is not like stealing a drink at the bar. This is life and death, quite frankly. What is my favorite cruise ship? I mean, I don't. Is it Icon? It's either Icon or Wonder. I don't know. Like, I'm going on Wonder in March, but let me put it this way: I was on Icon in January, loved it. Went on Allure this past weekend, had a great time. But I would be remiss if I didn't tell you all that the entire time I was thinking, man, I miss Tony Diaz, and man, I miss Icon of the Seas, because it just doesn't compare. As oh man, what's the singer's name? Sinead O'Connor once said, nothing compares to you, Icon of the Seas. Any updates on Perfect Day, Island of Aleppo, and Vanuatu? No. Essentially, Brody, the last I've heard from Royal Caribbean is it's still planned. It's just on hold, but no updates beyond that. Is there bowling? There's not. There's no bowling on Royal Caribbean. If we have prepaid our gratuities, who else should we who else should we prepare to tip? In the casino, the porters that are taking your luggage before and after your cruise in the terminal, shore excursion personnel. And I would argue, even though you prepaid your gratuities, giving your stateroom attendants something a little bit beyond that is usually the case. Bryn, is it less expensive to book a cruise months from the departure date? Yes, absolutely. It is always a better deal to book your cruise as early as you can. Odds are, generally speaking, you'll get a better price the earlier you book it. RFA, again, thank you for the super chat. What's the best time to get a seat in the English pub? You seem to spend a lot of time there, but when we go, it's always full. Definitely early on. I mean, ideally, if their set begins at, 7:30, be there like at 7:15 or right at 7:30. Once you get to about 9 o'clock or so, man, yeah, it's busy in there the entire time. So you want to get there right at the beginning of the set for sure. Let's see here. Next question. Robert, first time cruiser. How much do you tip on room service? $5 is pretty much per order is what I usually do. It's like $1 or $2 seems too low. 10 is way too high. I'd say $5. Let's see here. Oh no, Ronnie, the printer's still here. I tried to put it actually where you can see it. I didn't realize my chair was going to block it. It's still there. I was waiting for one of you guys to ask me about that. What is the age limit now for an adult-only area at Royal Caribbean? 18, Kimberly, 18. What's your opinion of Adventure Oceans for a first-time cruise? Great ship, John. I think you'll have a great time on there. Great value. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles as Icon or Wonder, but that's okay. You can graduate to those. In the meantime, you'll have a great time on Adventure of the Seas. Next question. Can you bring pets on board? No, you cannot. Only service animals are allowed on board. What should we expect for the Allure of the Seas to receive in terms of the royal amplification? We don't know yet. Great question. Royal Caribbean hasn't announced it yet, so to be determined. I don't know if it'll be what was originally announced back in 2020 or if it's going to be something completely different. We simply don't know. Sergio, thank you for the super chat. Going on Oasis of the season March. What is a must do on it? Aqua 80s. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really. The best. Not one of the best. The best Aqua Theater show is Aqua 80s. Guys, am I wrong on that? Chat. If I'm wrong on that, call me out on it. I'm telling you, Aqua 80s is the best one. Best Aqua Theater show. Ray, thank you for the super chat. 55 Days Till Anthem, first cruise ever in Nassau. We're doing a pirate ship sail and walking towards McDonald's. Hear of any crime in that area? I don't keep up with like the police blotter there. The good thing is, I'm trying to think where McDonald's is. I know where Dunkin' Donuts is. You're probably okay. I mean, listen, Ray, there's risk anywhere you go. There's, you know what? I bet you in your town there's crime, right? That doesn't mean it stops you from going there. Be smart about your surroundings. One thing you can consider, maybe if you'd like to, is maybe book an excursion through Royal Caribbean as opposed to booking something on your own if you're worried about it. But just be smart, be mindful of your surroundings. Don't be courteous, that kind of thing. Let's see here. Crazy to think one day Oasis of the Seas will be scrapped, right? That's like thinking about like how big space is. It like blows your mind. Like someday Oasis will be scrapped too, but it'll happen absolutely. Hey Luke, thank you for this. Thank you for the message. You and the Royal Caribbean Blog team do great work. Thank you. I do not have a suite. What do you think about booking a barefoot beach cabana at Labadee? Worth a little upgrade. I love doing that, Luke. I usually when I go to Labadee, book a cabana. I like having the dedicated space, the service that comes with it. So I personally think it's worth it. You can still have a great time without it, obviously. But yeah, that's a Prince song. Sinead just covered it. What is that true? Smoke cabana? I had no. Wait. So when she tore up the photo of the Pope on Saturday Night Live all those years ago, that was a cover song. I had no idea, my friend. If you were sitting in the mason jar and someone asked which ship is better, I would say, Rich, let's order another peanut butter and jelly old fashioned. And I will say, a long, long time ago, I can still remember when I sailed on Wonder. And if I had the chance, I would ask to go again and maybe stay for a while. The bars on there made me. I don't know. I can't. It was supposed to be shiver, but I don't know another word that rhymes with that. Anyway, I enjoyed it. Flightman 100, you are very welcome. Let's see. You don't see anything about hyperlink. Blaine, I forgot how many days your cruise is from now. It won't be in the cruise planner. This will be in the app. Once, like about 2 or 3 days before the cruise, at the most, it'll be in the app. So check again there. If anything else, Blaine, once you get on board the ship, you'll see it in there. But it won't be available. Like it's on the cruise planner. These are free activities. You don't have to pay for them, but they'll be in the cruise in the app again, like 2 or 3 days before the cruise at most. William Jacob, I'm going on Harmony of the Seas for Christmas this year, and I'm wondering who do you use as a travel agent? MEI Travel. MEI Travel. There are a number of travel agents in our chat right now from MEI Travel that can help you. Or William, go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, fill out the big yellow form. They'll contact you. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Lisa, is a child automatically the same crown anchor status as their parents? Do they retain the status once they turn 18? Yes. So when they turn 18, it's not 21, it's 18. They retain the same status as their parents. But Lisa, they go back to their original point total. So let's assume they were platinum because their parents were. They would need to earn enough points on their own to move up to Emerald, if that makes sense. Czar wants to know, is it possible to get discounted or complimentary cabin upgrades? Complimentary, pretty much no. Discounted, yes. There's a program called Royal Up. I actually don't recommend it. It's a little misleading, but it's called Royal Up, and you can do that, Czar. I think we've done some videos about Royal Up here on our YouTube channel. Check that out. If not, we definitely have done information about it over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Teresa's with me, by the way. I can't decide between Wonder Icon's my favorite either, right? Yeah. We already answered that question. Sorry. Hang Georgia wants to know when will Allure be amplified? 2025. 2025. Donati, how safe is it to sail to Haiti right now? There's Haiti and there's Labadee. Labadee is in Haiti technically, but it's on a peninsula in a remote area. You're not actually, I mean, you're in Haiti, but you're not actually in Haiti. I would say it's whatever, like ignore everything happening in the rest of the country because it has no bearing. When you get there, and you can see this in some of the videos we've done about Labadee, it's a very remote area that is literally walled off from the rest of the country. I would say you're very safe over there in the grand scheme of things. There's always risks involved, blah, blah, blah. I'm not promising anything. You know that, but I'm telling you that it's not like you're actually going into, it's not like Nassau, Bahamas, in which you're actually going to a city or something like that. Let's see here. Next question. Is having the internet on a cruise a necessity for the Royal Caribbean app? No, you don't need the internet package at all. Once you're on board the ship Fitty and you connect to the Wi-Fi to use the app, of course, it'll ask you, do you have an internet package or do you just want to use the app? And you'll say, I just want to use the app. That's it. You're good to go. When will icon prices go down? Probably not anytime soon. I mean, here's how prices go down. Over time, other ships join the fleet, newer ships, and newer ships command the highest prices, and older ship prices tend to go down over time. But James, when we're talking what I think you're talking, we're talking like 5 or 10 years kind of time, probably not. Look at the Oasis class. Great example of this. Look at the price of Oasis of the Seas versus Harmony versus Wonder. You can see this example. China, what's the name of your other channel for celebrity and other cruises? Cruise.blog. Can somebody, guys, can you help me out here, chat? Can you link to the cruise blog channel for China and anyone else who's interested in checking it out? What is that sign next to your play button? That's actually, it's like an old magnets is now boarding. And the little graphics here, they're actually magnets. It spells out YOLO in Coast Guard speak. You guys don't like my singing? Man. Don, what's up, man? My granddaughter is turning 12 on an upcoming cruise. Would you recommend her staying in the 12 to 9 age group or go ahead and jump into the next group? Oh, yeah, I think you mean the 6 to 9. It's I can't answer that question. The reason why I cannot answer that question, Don, is because as a parent, some kids are mature for their age, some are not. So it kind of depends on your kid. I can't tell you that. How's Coco Key on a rainy day? Obviously not ideal, Jess, by any means. Usually rain is short-lived. It's rare that you have a full day rain. Like usually what happens, especially in the summertime, Jess, is you get there, it's beautiful and sunny, clouds roll in the afternoon, it rains for, 10, 30 minutes, something like that, and the clouds move on and it gets sunny again. It's not like an all-day soaker. So, yeah. Ever done a back-to-back? Oh, yes, many times. Thank you, Jessica. I see Tony Diaz. I'm a great singer. Thank you. Sashin will be a first-time cruiser going on Voyager to Cozumel and Costa Maya. Have booked the balcony with the key. Awesome. Hope you have a great time on board, my friend. Enjoy. Simply Nessa, thank you for the super chat. 170 days till Utopia. Do you plan on eventually selling on every single Royal Caribbean ship? Absolutely, yes. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but absolutely, yes. Scary, thank you for the super chat. Felt like we were at dueling pianos there for a second. Thanks for the song. You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you for your generosity, as always. Is Harmony going to dry dock or amplified in 24? Dry dock. Amplification could happen. We don't know. But as a Royal Caribbean, usually they play very close to the vest. So Jessica will have to wait and see on that one. Don't know yet. Slew Dog, does Azumi dinner still do the smaller portions when you use the dining package? Yes. So actually, Slew Dog, let me be clear about this. You can get full-size portions with the dining package. What you want to do, you get reduced portions with the fixed price. So when you get to the restaurant, whether you booked it a la carte or you paid with the dining package, you tell your waiter, I don't want to do the fixed price. I want to pay a la carte. Now, obviously, you have a dining package that'll cover your $40, but that would be totally fine, and that's what you need to do. So you can still use the dining package there and get full size portions, but you cannot do the fixed price menu. That's the catch. Aisha wants to know, what do you think of Rhapsody of the Seas? They go to the Virgin Islands. It's a small ship, Aisha, relatively speaking. It's a smaller, older ship in the fleet. So it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. I don't recognize your name here, Aisha, so I apologize. So I'm not sure if you're a new cruiser, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It doesn't have like all the fancy, like it doesn't have a zip line or a real promenade or a Broadway show or water slides. Now, does that matter to you? I mean, you want to go to the Virgin Islands. Maybe that's more important to you. So that's really the thing. So when you say, what do you think of Rhapsody? I think it's a great ship, but you need to be okay with what it offers and what it doesn't offer, because it's not Icon of the Seas by any stretch of the imagination. But there's still a couple different specialty restaurants on board. There are still activities. There's still a great pool, a only pool. It just doesn't have all those bells and whistles of a bigger ship right there. So, right, Nima? Tough crowd. Yeah, man. Jeez Louise. Danny DiMatteo, thank you, Danny. Svetlana, when main diagram menus become available in the app and shows for booking, selling an Icon in May. For the shows, it's supposed to be right at 30 days before your cruise. So keep checking on that. For the menus in the app, I'm not sure exactly if there is a specific time, but they will show up like closer to your cruise, Svetlana. So I would say for your shows, a week or two, probably, if not sooner than that. But I would check on that about there. Donati, can 20-year-olds drink alcohol on a cruise? Yes, if your cruise sails from a country that allows this. As an example, in the United States, no, absolutely not. But if your cruise sails from England, where you can drink from 18, then yes, you can. But it needs to be a cruise that begins and ends in that country, not like a transatlantic between UK and US, if that makes sense. The printer is still here, guys. The printer is still there. I just haven't put it in position. You can see it there. Let's see here. When is the best time to go on a cruise? We have a vacation coming up at the end of September 25. I mean, there isn't a bad time, quite frankly. Listen, September, there's pros and cons to every time of the year, James. Pro to September. It's probably one of the cheapest times of the year in terms of fares. Cons, it's hurricane season, which means, not that your cruise ship is going to go through a hurricane, but the con to a hurricane season cruise is you might have an itinerary change. You might have a Western Caribbean cruise booked, but if there's a storm, Royal might reroute you to the Eastern Caribbean. Is that a problem? I don't know. For me, it's not, but for other people, it might be. There's the other problem with September. It's the school is in session. Now, maybe you don't have kids, but if you had family, that might make it more difficult to make that work for a cruise. But essentially, James, there's pros and cons to any time of the year. There is not a month, James, I'd say, guys, everybody should book a cruise this month because it's the best month. There's pros and cons to it. But if your question is, hey, man, I want to book a cruise in September of 25, is that a good idea? Yeah, but book it now. Lock in that price now because it's a great time to be booking cruises for that time of year. What are my cruise plans for this summer? We have the Icon of the Seas group cruise coming up in June of this year. You can still join us for that. And then the Utopia of the Seas, doing a back-to-back on the Utopia inaugural and the one after that one. And that essentially encompasses that. I did move. We're in a new house. On an Alaska cruise, any chance of seeing otters? Sure. I mean, Joan, there's a lot of wildlife in Alaska, so anything's possible. Christine, question about Coco Key. If I have a soda package, do we get soda for free on the island? Yes. Do I have to bring my cup? No. Just tell them you got a soda package, and they will hook you up on that one. Valeria, will Starry of the Seas be as pricey as Icon? Probably. You can already book Starry of the Seas, Valeria. So I would say yes, probably. Can we change my time dining once we're on board? We were on Wonder on Sunday. Sure. You could call in right now and ask to change it, but let's assume you did that already and it's not available. Then yes, get on board the ship, Quinn. Go to the main dining room on embarkation day. Tell them what you want to do. They'll probably be able to hook you up. Probably. Aisha, you are very welcome. David Christie, thank you for the super chat. 26 days till Ovation to New Zealand. Nice. How soon before the cruise departure date do they post the entertainment? 30 days ahead of time. So the fact that is it critical to reserve shows in advance? Yeah, it really is. I'm surprised that you haven't seen, if you're asking this question, you're not seeing the cruise planner yet. I'm kind of surprised by that. It's not unheard of. And also, I hate to say this, but cruises from Australia tend to have like their own flow to them. Like some of the things work a little bit different down there in terms of like, the pre-cruise experience. That being said, though, David, I would expect it to be um, the same there. So it might be sold out already. It's possible, but it's supposed to be about 30 days. What Broadway show plays at Oasis of the Seas? Cats. Now and forever at the Winter Garden Theater. Cats. Mike Wolf, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Mike. Somewhere, Sinead O'Connor, and I guess Prince as well, appreciate, although I probably owe Prince a nickel for that reference. But anyway, Mike, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Let's see. Woony, how many days do you have to book in advance to go on a cruise? At least about 72 hours beforehand, but odds are, dude, even if you wanted to book a cruise like 4 or 5 days before the cruise, it's probably already sold out at that point. Can you book the cruise the same day you board? No. You need to, because of, ever since 9/11, they need to send the manifest over. So no, it needs to be booked at least like 72 hours beforehand, something like that. Is the Windjammer open 24 hours? No, it's not. There's only set hours for it. It's definitely not 24 hours. And we have reached the end of we got time for a couple more questions here. Shaka, thank you for the super chat. Just got back from Liberty of the Seas. Great trip. I think I saw we were on the same island of Coco Key on yesterday and Nassau the day before that. What, in your opinion, is the best value in the Royal Caribbean fleet? Ooh. I would say the Voyager class. Now, I'm going to say the Radiance and the Vision class ships are probably cheaper. But the reason why the Voyager class, Mariner, Navigator, Explorer, Adventure, and Voyager of the Seas, the reason why I picked those is because you not only get a pretty good price on them, but you're also getting, it's a big ship. It still has a big ship feel to it, lots of things to do on there. Whereas Radiance and Vision class don't have as much to offer there. So I think that balance of what you pay and what you get, that's really the sweet spot, Shaka. So I would say like a Mariner, Navigator, Voyager of the Sea, something like that. Would you recommend a taxi to Eagle Beach? Yeah, absolutely. It's a great idea. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Can't wait to see you on the Utopia inaugural back to back. Likewise, brother. Really looking forward to it as well. It's gonna be awesome, dude. Scooby Moto, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Do they allow you to put a small hammock up on your balcony? Yes. Actually, I had a friend, Haley, who used to do this all the time. I think it's a lot of work, but yes, if you wanted to, you could definitely do. I mean, you need one to hook up there. Not like like you need to like tie it to something, but I've definitely seen people do that before, Scooby. Shakita, thank you for the super chat. I bought beverage packages over the course of a couple months. Next, I'm going to be paying for gratuities up front. I fear I'll be billed twice because I already paid for my drink gratuities. Do you know? No, so actually, that's a good question. It seems like you are, but you're not actually. The gratuities that you prepay through the cruise line cover your stateroom attendant and your dining room staff. The drink package gratuities that you paid for cover the bar staff that you order drinks from. So hope that makes sense. David Gardonio, thank you for the super chat. How's it going? Great. Love the show. Thank you. Why is everyone concerned about the printer? Brother, when you figure it out, let me know. I have no idea, my friend. No clue at all. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you guys. And on that note, I think we're going to head on out of here, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I don't want to get to every single question. If you still have questions, you can post them on our message boards over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com or wait till next Monday. We'll be back again right here on YouTube. Guys, have a great night. Thank you to all our super chatters. Thank you to everybody who joined the Royal Caribbean Blog Club during this broadcast, which I think might have been one or two of you guys. But thank you guys so much for your generosity. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the fun. Really and truly, thank you. And yeah, we'll be back again next Monday right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.